Hello, hello, happy weekend. How y'all doing today? My name is TexasTuberTim. Are you brand new to Animal Crossing? Are you unhappy with your existing game and considering starting over? Are you looking for tips and tricks? Or are you just trying to get more Nook miles? If so, you found the right place. Today we continue our quest to reach 200,000 Nook miles. Again, my name is TexasTuberTim, aka Triple T. And a lot of people have asked me how I was able to rack up over 120,000 miles in my previous game, so I decided to delete my game and show you how I did it from the start. This is our second video in the playthrough series, so if you're just now finding us, I recommend that you switch over to the playlist on my YouTube channel and view from the start. Let's get this done. So yesterday we played what I call day 0. That's the part of the game before the nap. And then we played the first full day of the game. And when we left off, I had some off-stream stuff that had to be done. Namely, I needed to get the third inventory row, which is done at the Nook machine by paying 5,000 Nook miles. And then we had to collect all the rocks we could collect from and also collect as much wood as possible. And I did all that off stream. So you haven't missed anything since the last stream except for those things. So today we have a new set of tasks and goals. And we're going to let Mr. Nook kind of do the announcements here and we'll get into those. And if you're just joining us, I choose not to read all this narrative stuff that's here, but so he's just told us the airport is open for business, which is excellent. That also means for my viewers that you'll have a chance to get into our streams in the future. I've thought about visiting other viewers' islands so we can kind of showcase those. And also collaborating by meetings so we can do some trades and things of that nature. So that's something to look forward to now that we've got the airport. And of course, Blathers is coming to the island. That's because we got a total of 5 unique bugs and or fish. And this plays into what our primary task is going to be for today. Namely, we need to get 15 additional bugs and or fish so that we can get the museum constructed. So we'll wait for that to load. And here we are. So right off the bat, the first thing we want to do on this second day is we want to check the mailbox because we should have gotten some stuff from Mom, which we did. Actually got 2 presents today. And then we'll go ahead and see what this is. But if this still plays the same way as it did before, we're going to get some fruit that we didn't have here on the island. We got 3 cherries. Alright, so one of my tips that I've mentioned before, I'll mention again, is if you get a DIY recipe card, a do-it-yourself recipe card, go ahead and learn it immediately, especially in the early game because you're going to be short for space. You'll want to get that done. Okay, so let's run over here and find Blathers. Hold on one second. I need to fix something. Okay, we're going to run over here and look for Blathers. He should be in this tent here. We want to get this conversation started relative to turning in the additional bugs and fish. So basically what he's telling us is if we discover any new insects or fish, he wants us to bring them to him. And that he needs more exhibits or insects and fish to to get permission or trigger the completion of the museum. He's also making mention of fossils, which we haven't gotten yet because they're on the wrong side of the river, but I think he's going to sort that out for us here in a minute. So he's given us the DIY for the vaulting pole, which helps us get across the river, and also the shovel, which is something we were really needing yesterday, but we finally got it. Okay, so we got a number of things we could be doing now. Right away, let's, oh, that's right. He put it in our phone. So let's run back to the tent. Actually, we have a house now, which is great. We can get all this stuff off the ground. So one of the things I do early game, because materials are such at a premium and so is your storage space, is I just kind of do, I call this the yard sale strategy, but I just throw a bunch of stuff out on the ground. And I'm not going to pick all this up right now because I value y'all's time and I don't want to let you watch me keep house. Oh, and we don't have a crafting bench yet. We're given some instructions on how to keep this up, so let's push some of this stuff out of the way. Make room for I know it's not called a crafting bench, but that's what I call it. Okay, we should be able to fit one right there, but we got to go over to the resident service tent to construct it. We may actually put it outside because it's a little more convenient. Hope y'all are doing good today. Glad to be playing a little bit of gaming. So one of our goals here is to build a community around the idea of helping each other out. We have a number of things going on. The channel is basically brand new. We've got a Discord channel now. We've got an Instagram channel. We have a Twitter account. And all of those you can find via TexasTuberTim, with the exception of the Discord, which I'll try and drop into the chat. Easiest way to talk with me is going to be by Twitter. So he's given us a Nook Miles ticket. Actually, he's left it at the airport. We can go get it later. Okay, so we want to craft a workbench. We're going to use the rustic one. There's a nicer one we can get later on, but this will be fine for now. Also, daily you want to hit this Nook stop machine because you get free miles just for logging in. And we have the 5,000 miles that we need for the Pocket Organization Guide. This is a key first upgrade to get with your Nook Miles. And avoid the temptation to buy this other stuff here because it's just going to delay the important things you need, which is this. Okay, we'll redeem that. That's going to be a nice upgrade to have for sure. Well, I'm not going to bother with that right now. The little yellow box is the recycle box. You can get stuff out of there. Usually it's less than useful cardboard boxes and stuff like that, but early game you basically want to get whatever you can in the way of stuff. So we're going to place that here, and then we're going to see what we can craft, namely the vaulting pole. Which is this one right here. And then we're going to craft a shovel. Let's see what else we can do. I don't think we need to do anything else just yet. Yeah, none of this is really going to help us out just now. Alright, so let me get my inventory sorted out here. What I would recommend you do as it relates to your inventory is kind of get in the habit of putting all the tools in the top left here. And whatever order you want, but come up with a system and be consistent, because you'll have to toggle through these tools a lot, and it'll get to be a nuisance if you don't have everything where it goes. The other thing I do with this tool ring is I always slot the items to the same spot, so I can basically switch a tool without even looking. And this is my preferred vaulting pole slot. And then we had a hatchet. We'll put that right here. By the way, if y'all have any questions about the game, if you're here because you're struggling with anything, I've played quite a bit of this game, and I'd be happy to answer those. Okay, so we're good to go. What we need to do next is get in here to the house. So one nice thing with the house, now that we have that, is we have storage that we didn't have before. And basically when we hit our inventory here, we can put extra items in storage like that. Something else to hoard and be really stingy with early game is the iron. You don't want to use iron. And then I can get to my storage by hitting the right button on the left D-pad. But we're creating room for all this stuff. So this was a key strategy we had in the first day, is we're basically stockpiled all these fish and bugs, because we knew we needed the 15 additional items. And by collecting one of everything, we have all that ready to go for Blathers, so we don't have to wait an extra day to get the museum. And we may have a couple duplicates in here, but I think we were pretty consistent in avoiding that. Oh, pockets are full. Alright, let's run over here and say hey. Now yesterday we had to turn the bugs and the fish in one at a time, which was super annoying. I'm hoping I can do a group turn in here. Can't remember if that's the case or not. Oh good. Right, so we're just gonna... Oop. Really? You're gonna make me do them one at a time? And always say no on this. He'll just ramble about the fish and bugs. If you're interested, by all means, go for it. But yeah, we're gonna have to do these one at a time. But by the way, to speed up chat, just hit your B button and it'll type the chat quicker. Not the chat, but the dialogue. And he doesn't like bugs. He does that every time you turn a bug in. I'd also be interested in hearing in chat what your favorite fish is. I definitely have a favorite. And I have some that oops. Didn't mean to click that. There's some on my list that I'm really looking forward to catching I haven't ever caught yet because the fish and the bugs are seasonal. So unless you played through a full year of the game, you may not have found or seen some of the things that you can find in this game, which is kind of cool. It's got some life, some long-term playability. I think it does this one at a time thing because it assumes I'm just going to kind of piecemeal it. But because I knew this was coming, I already had my bugs and fish stockpiled. So if you're just popping in, we're in day 2 of the game. We're trying to get the museum triggered so that we can get that constructed. I think that's the second time in a row I accidentally said tell me more about it instead of passing that up. Clicking too fast. Oh, did it 3 times in a row. I can't believe I did that. So the museum's really kind of cool. If you've never seen it before, you can kind of walk through and view your work. There's also fossils, which is predominantly like dinosaurs. So you kind of walk through a real museum. You can just kind of look around, see all the stuff you caught. It's pretty neat. I do see 2 duplicates for sure. You can also use the B button to effectively say no or exit out of a series of menus. Like I push B right there, instead of having to select the no option. And I don't know why a hermit crab is an insect. That doesn't make sense to me. We'll just go with it. I'm not 100% sure about This being a... No, I guess that might be a... Actually, I remember now, it grays out something in your inventory that he already has. You won't even have an opportunity to donate it. I did the information button again. This should be the last one. We can go do some playing. Still needs 2 more. We had just enough to get this knocked out. That looked like a tiger butterfly, in which case that's a duplicate. That's okay. Probably seems like I've got everything unnecessarily spread out, but there's a method to my madness here. And we're going to talk more about your layout. You can move buildings, but in my opinion, not only is it 50,000 bells, but it's not as easy as it should be. I'll just say that. So we already had all the other ones turned in. You have to go find one more unique item. Okay. Let's run over here to Timmy and Tommy. We're here in the resident services building. We're going to sell the extra bugs we have. It can be tempting early game to sell stuff that you really ought to hang on to. Wait. Oh, he wants help building the shop. That's right. This is one of our other tasks for today. So basically what he needs is 30 of each kind of the wood. There's 3 kinds of wood. And then they're going to need 30 iron. The iron's going to be the tricky part. We got what we could yesterday, but I doubt that we're going to get an additional 30. Okay. Oh, I forgot to sell my stuff. I forgot the reason I came over here. The first day is brutal on the inventory management. Just muscle your way through it. Throw all your stuff on the ground. I want to sell. Throw all your stuff on the ground. You're not going to lose any items that you throw out on the ground. Unless you have visitors, and I'm talking about real people coming to visit your island. If you're playing solo like me, it's nothing to be concerned with. It won't despawn, and nothing's gonna take it away. Okay, so we need one more bug or fish that we haven't caught. And we're gonna need the iron. I think we probably had the wood already. We'll check on that in a minute. So let's start with the rocks. Now that we have the shovel, I can show you a trick. Well, I can also show you this. For that, I'm going to need 10,000 bells, which I actually have. So let's select our shovel. And you're going to hear differing opinions on this. Trust Tim on this, okay? what you want to do is dig that to open up the glowy hole. Then you're going to go here and you're going to pick 10,000 bells and you're going to put the 10,000 in the hole. You'll hear online that you could put up to 99,000 or some other amount, but there's a percentage chance that you won't get the payout. And if you want the most consistent long-term payout, you want to put 10,000 bells into the hole. So we'll bury that. And then the other thing I did, because as you plant trees, there'll be a lot of this stuff on the ground. So I just go 2 spaces out in front, and I set the $1,000 bag on the ground there, so I know that this is a money tree. Okay, so our rocks, we want to make sure it's clear, there's no weeds or anything around here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to dig 2 holes like that, and that's going to prevent us from being knocked away from the rock. And when we do this, we can get all 8 of the drops out of here. It's basically just spamming the A button. As long as you get nice and straight and you have those holes behind you to keep you from bouncing back, you should be good to go. And I usually leave the holes there so I know I've already collected from the rock today. And I see those alerts on the task. Let's just stay on point here. Okay, so this time I'm gonna put it here, here. You could also use something that's already in place to kind of keep you from bouncing, but the holes work very well consistently. This is gonna be a money rock. This is when it's really important to get all 8 of your strikes, because every time it spits another one out, you're gonna get a bigger amount of money. By the way, you can tilt the camera using the right stick up and down if you can't see behind an object. And there's one more rock. Here it is. We only have 3 on our starting point. By the way, another shortcut is on Y. Press Y, it'll fill the hole. You won't have to have a shovel for that. Okay. Need some iron, please. Iron. Not what I wanted. Okay, let's go do some exploring. Now that we got the vaulting pole, I'm going to start over at this other end. Another thing I always do is when those branches are on the ground, I always grab them, because you inevitably you run out and then you have to stop what you're doing and you have to go around and shake trees to get the twigs you need to build a tool or something like that. Well, there's some more roaches. We've already caught those. Hold A to sneak up and then let go. So we're primarily here looking for rocks. There's other stuff over here obviously, but we'll get to that later. And we won't be able to get up here until we get the ladder, which will come in another day or 2. Definitely want this. This is going to be an artifact. Tilt the camera a little bit so we can make sure we're not missing an item. The tool ring is another thing you definitely want to get early game. It's only 800 miles. Definitely save you a bunch of time as you're running around the island collecting stuff. I'm gonna go up here real quick. There's a bunch of shells I see. That'll help us out with our money situation. So the whole reason I got this started is because I was running into a lot of people that were having trouble getting Nook miles. And in my save, I had over 120,000, was really not even trying. So it occurred to me that I could make that kind of the focus of our video. That's a new bug when we want it. Give me that bug. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see it. Can't see it all. Just scared it. It happens. So the real focus of what we're doing with this playthrough is helping you understand the Nook Miles system and how to maximize your Nook Miles. I should have left that there because we need it to get this rock. So this will be our 4th rock. I think at the point where we get the ladder. Oh, what were you doing? Okay, so learn from my mistakes. I should have pulled all these weeds out before I hit that rock. My bad. I probably could have had a couple more iron if I was paying attention. And then for running, we're holding the B button. I never run unless well, the risk is that you will miss out on getting a bug or a fish, because most of the bugs and fish will spook if you run near them or by them. I think that's all we got today. Okay, so let's run back and let's see where we stand with our rocks and our wood for the upgrade to the shop. Then we're going to get into some Nook Miles. Oops. Thank you for showing me that bug. Super proud. Okay, let's have a look. So we still need some hardwood. We have 30 of these. We need 1 piece of hardwood. We have 30 of these. And we only have 10 iron. I don't think I had any more out here. Nope, I don't. Okay, let's... Oops. Let's have a look here and see what our objectives are. So this is the Nook Miles Plus program up here. And this is really the area I focus, because as I complete these objectives, I'm also getting credit towards a lot of the ones down here. So we need a photo, we need to sell some items, we need to catch fish, we need to get a butterfly fish, and then we need to buy stuff. One thing I recommend with the fishing is you try and fish when you have both the specific fish task and the catch fish task, and they have the same 2 tasks for the bugs. It'll say catch bugs, 5 bugs, and then it'll say catch a, I don't know, bagworm. So I usually try and wait till I have both of these, so I'm kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, if you will. But we've got the photo task, which is simple. And you can take a pretty picture if you want, but that's all it takes. Get that one ticked off. And as soon as I get a task complete, I'm going to go in here and clear it so that I repopulate with a new one. Sapling. We have some of those from yesterday. Okay, let's go ahead and do some... Well, let's see what else we had here. Oh, this is a trick I use. You can click into any card and then you right stick right. It'll jump to the next completable task. So we got the 8 times in a row. This is the first fossil. We got our house. What was this one? Man. Oh, storage. So we get Nook miles just for putting a bunch of stuff in storage. And this is for finding the, I don't know what it's called, the glowy thing that you use to plant a money tree. Okay. What do we get? We got about 2,000 miles just for that. Alright, so we're going to do some fishing here. Because we've got to catch 5 fish and we're looking for a butterfly fish, which is going to be a saltwater fish, so we're going to go to the beach. We might as well pick these shells as we're out. But we'll come back to this. Basically, that guy shows up on the beach face down, and you've got to help him get back on his boat by finding parts that he needs for his communicator. I don't know how I could have got that any closer. Come on. And my fishing tip is to look away. Oh, we got it first try. Nice. My fishing trip is to look away when you know the fish is locked, and then use the sound to know when to push A. Then I catch way more fish that way than I do the other way. Something about watching that fish and the way it moves and jives, it'll trick you into pushing early. I'm going to get this angle. I think I hear a balloon as well. Alright, Tim. Come on. So that little airy, blowy noise. If you don't already have it, you want to get the slingshot early game, because these balloons drop a lot of good stuff, usually recipe cards and sometimes other items. Oh, nice. Nice. That's a good catch right there. Definitely need those iron nuggets. Bet you this is a black bass. What do you think, chat? Nailed it. There's some fish in this game you're gonna catch so many times you'll just kind of wish you never see another one. Okay, these are nice because these have cards in them. By the way, with these recipe cards, if you have duplicates, hang on to them, because this is something that you can trade or share with your friends, including TexasTuberTim. this is definitely something we'll get together to trade items and trade menu cards or whatever y'all want to do. A little early yet to be worried with that, but we're definitely planning to make that part of the community. No, I don't have a spare. Okay. And I broke my rule. I normally clear these out as soon as I complete them. That will grow fruit trees. Okay. Alright, let's go get another fishing pole. Now with the iron I could, well, I don't know if I have the recipe yet, but if I did have the recipe I could make a more sturdy fishing pole. But we're going to be very stingy with this iron until we get the 30 we need to upgrade the shop. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, it's going to make two. There's one more stick. There's one right there in the ground. Just go ahead and get a spare so we don't have to run back here every time we need another fishing pole. And we need just one more fish. Okay, so I clicked the button kind of quick there, but the first thing he said after he caught the squid was yes, exclamation point, which is a dead giveaway that's the first time you've ever caught that thing, and that's when you want to make sure you save it for the museum. And another trick I use is that I'll push that up to the top of my inventory, if you will. And I use something like this as a barrier, so I know left of whatever that is new stuff that I need to keep to sell, not sell, give to the museum, and everything to the right is stuff that I could potentially sell to Timmy and Tommy. Okay, so we got the 20th item. We definitely want to run over here and get Blathers wrapped up. That's cell fruit. Okay. Now, I have these to donate, but I'm purposely going to hold them back because there's another micro task that asks you to find and turn in 3 fossils. So this is something else I do as it relates to Nook Miles. I only do stuff when I get the miles, if that makes sense. Or I only turn stuff in if I'm going to get the miles. So to use the fossils as an example, at one point I had 15 or 20 of those fossils in my house. Are you going to give me a gift? I don't think so. Okay, you can't accept any new items. Okay. But at one point I had, I don't know, 15 or 20 fossils stockpiled in the house, because I only turn them in 3 at a time when I can get the Nook Miles. But if I turn them in as I get them, and then I get the micro task, or the Nook Miles Plus task, then I can't get the free miles out of it. Okay, so we've got the house now. And one thing we're going to try and do here is basically fill this up with a bunch of garbage. And I'm not doing this because I think it's pretty. I'm doing this because we can get credit for how many decorations we have in the house. And these fish tanks and bugs and things, you can generally stack them too high, which will help you jam more into the room. I don't know if that's going to fit there. Oh, it did. And then the rest of this we will put in storage. To plant a tree, we need to sell some items. We need to sell fruit. So that should be a twofer if we sell fruit and items, or if we sell fruit, we'll get credit for both, I should say. That should be 2,400. So wait, I think they sell for 100. Your native fruit sells for less. So one tip, your native fruit, whatever grows on your island since the start of the game, go sell it at a friend's island and you'll get 4 times as much money. Actually, I don't want to sell fruit. So one of my key strategies as it relates to early game is to build economy, and I do that primarily through fruit trees, and ideally with something other than pears. And then there's other stuff we can do with fruit as well. But we need this tree. In fact, let's just throw that right here. Plant it. You can put it in some pretty spot if you want, but that's all it takes to get that one checked off. Oh, but we had this task. We kind of have to sell 5 fruit. I don't like that, but how many was that? That's 8. Alright, so I'm going to show you another trick. You can get Nook Miles for crafting items, and you can also get more money for a crafted item than you would for the materials it took to build it. So I'm going to show you an example here. And you can switch to this menu to see what you can craft, what's in your pocket. So this is one of my go-to items here. There's another micro objective, which basically tells you to craft 3 things. Should have picked up more weeds. Hey. And They tell you at the start of the game that you can sell these weeds, and you can. But in my opinion, better off crafting a leaf umbrella or that little hay bale, and you'll get, I think it's twice as much money when you do that. Okay, so let's just throw these down. Actually, I'm gonna grab one for the purpose of showing y'all. Okay, so the hay bed takes 20 weeds, and you bought it for 40 bells, so that's basically 20 bells per weed. I know viewers don't always like to do math, but that's okay, I'll do it for you. And then we should get 10 for the single weed. Which is half as much money. So just by building something with the materials, we're going to get roughly double the amount of money. Alright, so we've done that to show you that it does in fact work. But now I'm going to sell the rest of the stuff I've got to give him. I've got to sell these fruits. And hopefully that's enough for the micro task. I think we only needed about 1,500. Oh, he's telling me if I eat the fruit, I get kind of like a superpower. We'll see that later on. Not very relevant right this second. Okay, so that did work out like I said. Got credit for both. Okay, so now they're gonna give me Nook Miles to sell weeds, so I'm down for that. Need a squid, which we just caught. We need bugs. We need to buy items. So these items that appear in the store change on a daily basis. And you may see something in here one day and then never see it again. But if you buy it and you had it in your possession at one point in time, you can go get more at the Nook machine later on. And I don't think there's anything else here I need. I think I have that. We're gonna go ahead and get a clump of these to spend the money and also be ready for when he tells me to plant another tree. Is that 5,000 worth? Could have been. Another 200 miles. Need to plant a tree, take a photo, sell weeds. Kind of silly to have to stop and take a picture, but it's worth 100 miles, and I've probably done it 50, 100 times. Chop a tree down. I don't know if we have the recipe for the upgraded axe yet. And I'm definitely not spinning iron. I don't think I can chop a tree down with that axe. Pretty sure. If I'm wrong with that, let me know in chat. Want to talk to your neighbors daily? I usually wait until I get the micro task. Oh, he gave me an upgraded shovel. Nice. Okay, what were we doing? Oh, we needed weeds. Pick it up. Now, I wish it would give me an option to split a stack, but all you can do is grab one. It's kind of silly. That's alright, we have plenty left over. And we've still got that whole new area to pick the weeds from. And I'm really only doing that for the Nook miles. So now we got these doubled up again. Let's see if we can get a squid real quick. Hey, if you're just joining us for the first time, please consider giving us a subscription. Doesn't cost anything. Just hit the little subscribe button there. And then enable notifications by clicking the little bell. That way you'll know when we're going live again. I am planning to do some recorded content here, but I think I'm gonna primarily be doing live streams because I'd much rather collaborate with y'all, let you be a part of what we're doing, instead of just pushing a lot of content your way. Still have to deal with him. He's not going anywhere. Nice. Oh, that's new too. Those are worth about 4,000. I thought we caught one of those yesterday. Apparently not. Oh, and I forgot my little trick that I told you I use. That's happened before where I get something I didn't have and then I run and sell it because I wasn't paying attention. Especially now that I'm live streaming, I get really distracted because I'm doing a lot of things over here in addition to just playing the game. Easy for me to do something silly when I'm not focused. But I'd like to get that squid. If I remember right, the squid has the medium-sized silhouette. You'll start to learn after a while, based on the size of the shadow, what something might be. Like this is probably going to be a sea bass. Nailed it. Not really worried about the bugs right now. Although, did I have a bug objective? I think I did. Oh. Already did that, I think. That's another fish you're going to catch too many of. So here's that micro task I was talking about earlier, complete DIY projects. I could do something as simple as craft 3 of those leaf umbrellas or the hay bales, and it'll give it to me. Okay, so let's go to the, I call it the Mystery Island. We need to check on our supplies here. And this is going to start looking like a garage sale. But trust me, this is easy Nook Miles doing decorating stuff. I don't really have the patience to make something pretty, and the other thing is I'll start to get it to look about right, and then my house will be upgraded, and then I have to do it all over again. It's also effectively a little extra storage. Okay. So we'll want to get another axe. And should be okay. Oh, I already have one made. And then you want to make sure your pockets are empty otherwise. And then that way when you get to the Mystery Island, you can pick up as much stuff as possible. The Mystery Islands, well, they're a different, they're a change of scenery, and they're fun to go to. But there's really only a couple things you can get there that you can't get anywhere else. This is something else I'm looking forward to doing with the viewers is opening up the island, letting y'all come visit me. I'll go visit y'all. Maybe showcase your island. That'd be kind of neat. So he's telling me I can send a card to somebody. That's a little card stand to the right. So if you wanted to go visit a friend, you would do this, but we're going to a Mystery Island, so we use the Nook Miles ticket. By the way, does anybody know the name of the Wright brothers? The first name of the two Wright brothers? If you know, let me know in chat. So basically saying go out there, go explore, find whatever you want. If you need help, let me know. So my approach to the island is I'm going to get everything I can until my pockets are basically level full. So you missed it yesterday, or you might have missed it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shake every tree with the net in my hand in case there's wasp. Not just because I don't want to get stung, but because I can get $2,500 by selling wasp. And I'm also kind of clearing out some space at the base of these trees, so when I chop them, it'll drop the wood that I want. I've never seen a coconut tree drop a wasp, but I always do that while I got my net out. Here we go. So really simple. Oh, I already broke our net. Guess that's why they call it a flimsy net. So get in front of the tree, line up in front, shake the tree. That way all you gotta do is flick left or right and then spam your A, and you're gonna get it 99% of the time. Very easy to catch a wasp. Unless you don't have the net ready when he drops. We don't have this yet. This is called Uncle Face, stink bug or something like that. Man faced. I'm purposely not dealing with the flowers right now. I'm going to make a decision when we're done with the island about whether or not we're taking any flowers with us. Although these are roses, which are hard to come by. At least they were in my old game. It's probably going to be a different flower that's hard to find in my new game here. Really need another one of those stink bugs, but grab them. Baked it. Baked, cook. I English all the time. So if you're just popping in, this is day 2 of a brand new game. We're on a quest to 200,000 Nook miles, and this is our very first Mystery Island. And when this is in the corner like this, you don't have to do the holes because you're already backed into the corner. This is one of the main reasons we're coming to Mystery Islands, is we can find some more rocks and get the iron that we need. Especially here early game, because we got to have 30 of these to be able to upgrade the shop. Say hi to this guy. We can also talk to this guy and get him to come as a visitor. back around. We're going to get our 3 wood from every tree. This is all about resource gathering and looking for something that we have here that we can't get on our home island, like roses. We haven't done much work with flowers yet, but that may be my native flower at my island. Nope. Right there. Thank you. We got 4 that time. That's pretty good. We already chopped that. So as long as we use this flimsy axe, it won't chop the tree down. So you can do this at your own island every day, and you can get 3 wood from every tree every day, assuming you use the right axe. When I'm a visitor on these islands, I usually just chop them down. Okay, so I can't make a corner there. We can do it here. Use the tree in a hole. This is so we don't bounce back and miss out on our chance to get all 8 of the drops from the rock. It's a time limit thing on these rocks. You have to basically spam the A. And if you bounce back too far, you're going to miss something. There's some resources available online. In particular, somebody has done some little kind of wikis of what the different islands look like, and tell you also on particular islands whether or not there is something unique that you can't find elsewhere. But this is there's nothing special with this island. And I'll put that in the, I guess I can put that in the Discord. Anybody's interested in popping in there. Discord's going to be a great opportunity for us to do the community thing and kind of help each other out. Also have a goal, if I can, in the next day or so, I'm going to do kind of a summary sheet that outlines what needs to happen each of the first 7 or so days of this game, so you can kind of fast track the start of it. Try and get that done soon. Okay, so we didn't shake these trees yet, so I'm going to switch back to the net, because if I don't, I guarantee there'll be a wasp. And you'll want to look for these. And I know the coconut won't drop a wasp, but that's okay. Go ahead and have the net just to have it, get in the habit. Okay, so for this one, this is a little risky. When we get centered up super straight on this rock, and hopefully the edge of the lake will keep me from bouncing back. Usually what happens is you start to kind of drift left or right when you do this, especially if you weren't real straight at the start. That worked out for me. Another 4 iron. Okay, so we've collected everything. We have 3 more slots. We're gonna grab one of each colored rose, I guess. So that there's for each species, there's 3 natural colors. That first one, the yellow. Have one more space. See if we can get another one of those man-faced stink bugs. Maybe there he is. Hold A to sneak. Let go. Still gotta catch that squid. And these bigger objectives, they get bigger and bigger. Okay, so that was the thing I was doing in the house where I was just stacking fish. Got 1,000 nook miles for that. Easy peasy. Check one more time, make sure we're full. Because once we leave, we can't come back, and these trips normally cost us 2,000 nook miles, so we want to make sure we get everything we can out of it. That's my Discord channel I just dropped into chat. Okay, so we're back home. What were we working on? I need to see if we got our 30 iron. Let's run back to the house right quick. Can't put those in storage, which is beyond frustrating, but it is what it is. You can also use this to plant coconut trees on the bank. And this is probably something I'm going to do off stream. I won't bore you all with that. See if I can get that other objective. I don't know if I can fit a total of 30 items in here, but if I can, I'll get another. Oh, wrong button. I think before I put all these items in here, I should have turned that silly radio off. I don't know what's up with that music. It's really annoying. I don't think I'm gonna get this on the wall. Maybe over here. Might be too close too. Nope, not happening. Oh, I meant to place that other thing back. Oh, that stands up. Let's try that again. I thought I just assumed it would go on the wall. Right over here. Actually, that's an outside item. Let's just go ahead and drop that. That was the first piece of clothing I got, was that silly pink dress. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that thing. I'm sure my wife would love it. Can I put this on top of that? Oop. May look ridiculous, but we're going to get a bunch of Nook miles for that, which is what we're here for. Oh. Lost track of what I was doing again. Guys, y'all got to keep me on task here. We're trying to finish the Blathers museum. So we are 2 iron short. That's unfortunate. The only way we're going to get the iron that we need to finish the museum is if we buy another Nook Miles ticket. So if you're just popping in, this is a playthrough series, and the focus of what we're trying to do here is show you how I got so many Nook Miles in my previous save. I got up to a little more than 120,000. Our goal in this playthrough is to get to 200,000. We're playing day 2 of the game right now. Bells and DIY. Okay. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another Mystery Island run. Any rate, that's what we're here for in terms of the playthrough video. Show people how to get 200,000 Nook Miles, but we're also building a community around the idea of getting together, collaborating, visiting each other's islands, trading stuff, sharing recipe cards, all that kind of thing. So if you're here for the first time, I hope you'll consider subscribing, hit the little notification bell, and join us Instagram, Twitter, Discord. We're all over the place. Gonna need a few sticks and maybe a rock to build more tools. My personal rule is when I go visit an island, I want 2 of every tool. because they're prone to break. Inevitably what happens is you show up at an island and you don't have what you need to finish. So we have currently one of those. Let's make one more. And I'm pretty sure we broke our shovel in the last trip. Oh, we need hardwood for that. We're eventually going to put the crafting bench or the workbench inside. That I know it looks like a garage sale in there, but we're trying to get the horde reward, which I think will pay us $1,500 or $2,000 if we can get 30 items into the house there. So looks ridiculous, but there's a purpose. Okay, so let's build a shovel. And then I want to check my inventory. I think I need another net. Anybody's joining, it's got a specific question about the game. I've got way too many hours in this game. I'd be happy to answer those. Okay, so we got 2 of those. We need to get rid of these flowers before we go. And let's drop these items. And I'm just going to plant these flowers over here. So we are all set. All we need now is the ticket. And this is one of the few things that I would, I guess, be okay with you spending your Nook Miles on early game, is a Nook Miles ticket, especially if you need it. You can also pick this up, which would be helpful. This is going to give some upgraded tools. But basically, early game, you want to avoid the temptation of buying hairstyle kits and the little Godzilla statue and all those things that look kind of neat and cool, because you really need to focus on getting your additional inventory and the tool ring and things like that to get your game working the way it needs to work. And then you can always come back later and buy that other stuff. Okay, so let me check my cheat sheet real quick here. So our day 2 objectives were to get the 15 bugs and fish that Blathers needed. We did that. We got the letter from Mom to get the 3 new fruits, specifically cherries. We want to plant some fruit trees. I'm going to do that off screen. We also collected all the fossils we could find. Off screen, I'm also going to go around and get every bit of wood and stone I can from the rocks and the trees. And then we're going to buy the store after we make this trip. We'll have the iron we need, the 30 iron we need, in addition to the 30 of each kind of wood to get the store upgrade purchased. And we just bought a Nook Miles ticket, and we've already got the pretty good tool recipes. So we're pretty close to wrapping it up. For the day, and I'll do some more stuff off stream, and when we come back we'll be in a game day 3. Now that we have the airport, hoping to do some collaboration, let people come into the game, and also maybe showcase their island. I'll go visit your island and I'll stream it live so everybody can see how cool it is. So get connected with us on social media, specifically Twitter. That's the best way to communicate with me. We also have a Discord server. I dropped that link. If I need to drop it again because some new people have popped in, let me know. By the way, I didn't show it, but if you come back to him after he's dropped you here, you can get tools from him in a pinch. But these tools cost Nook miles, so I would advise you not to do that. Come prepared so you don't have to waste your Nook miles buying stuff from him. Oh, we got the bamboo island this time. That's cool. And I've never seen bamboo produce wasp, so I'm gonna throw caution to the wind here and so this is something new. We're getting bamboo shoots so we can plant bamboo on our own island. And as we're going through here, we want to be careful that we clear out the space at the bottom of the tree of weeds, because if we don't, the bamboo won't fall. I'm gonna wait till we've done all the chopping to get the bamboo shoots. I'm gonna have to switch my tool every 5 seconds. And the reason I like to chop this stuff instead of just knocking the resource loose is you can better tell what you've already done. But basically the goal when you visit these other islands is to get everything you can possibly get. And it may seem silly to grab weeds, but I use those to get the Nook Mile bonuses. And at some point you're gonna basically run out of weeds on your home island. Say hi to this guy, Benedict. See if we can lure him to our island. We'll see what happens. That was a new bug I just scared off. more hatchets. I'm used to coming with the upgraded axe, which doesn't break nearly as quickly. That's alright. Unfortunately, there's no twigs on the bamboo island, so we can't make a new hatchet. But I'm not going to waste Nook miles buying them from the guy on the dock. We'll probably end up with some tulips from this island, which we don't have, I don't think, on our island. The real thing we came for was the iron, which we're definitely going to get. I think there's at least 3 or 4 rocks, it looks like. There's that stink bug again. So if you're playing along with me, don't worry if I got a different mystery island from you, because the goals and objectives are basically the same unless you get one of the rare mystery islands. And they're called rare for a reason. You basically want to focus on getting all the stuff that you can't get at your home island. That's what's most important. And then also getting iron, because you have a limited number of rocks on your home island. And until you get a ways into the game, you're never going to have enough iron. The other reason I grab weeds is because they stack up to 100 or 99, one of those. Whereas if I get a tulip, I can only get one. Nope. Got a piece of gold that time. Gold is something else to be like extra stingy with. It's very rare. And at some point you can get highly upgraded tools that are more durable. Me personally, I'd recommend resisting the temptation to build, I don't know, a golden candlestick or whatever it is that they offer. Just not worth it in my opinion. There's another stink bug. I think we're gonna have plenty of inventory, so let's go ahead and grab him. And this is why we bring a spare. We got another one. So the bamboo shoots are kind of cool, but you don't get any fossils. And I saw that centipede, but until I get plenty of iron, I'm not going to go after getting one of those. You can also get a pill bug or roly-poly from these rocks. Another stink bug. Oh. Okay, so I think we got all the rocks. Yep. Well, there's a man-faced stink bug. So we got room for 4 more things. And I think what we're going to pick is tulips. We could probably get some fish here, but I'm not sure we're going to find anything we can't get back home. Get one of each color. You can start to work at crossbreeding these. I think I just ran off a stink bug. There's another one there. Could be full. Definitely don't want to leave one of these mystery items until your pockets are full. Otherwise, you're just wasting your nook tickets. Okay, so we'll head back to the home. We will let's check our nook miles. Let's see. We could sell some shells. Get this again. Nope. Alright, we'll do that off stream, I think. So we're gonna head back to the house, get rid of all of our stuff, and then we're gonna get 3 of each kind of wood. I'm sorry, 30 of each kind of wood. There's 3 different kinds: hardwood, softwood, wood, and then we need 30 iron nuggets, and that will be enough to get the upgrade to the shop. I'm just going to throw this stuff in storage for now. Got a few things to do off stream. Won't waste your time with that. And it frustrates me to no end I can't put these in storage, but that's the way the game's set up. Okay, we need 30 nuggets. Where'd all my wood go? Oh, here we go. Need 30 of these, 30 of those, and those. So we're going to talk to him about building the shop. Let him know we want to donate. He has everything he needs. And he gave me some patterns and some other items that we can use to decorate. We've got to place the kit where we want it. Okay, so there's a method to my madness here, but I want the back of the shop to line up with the edge of the plaza, and I want the left corner to line up with the edge of the plaza here. It has to do with my plan for the paths that are going to go in here later. Yes, you can move these items later, but trust me when I say it's best to try and get them close to where they need to go. Not close, but where they go. That's not right. We're going to have to move to the right, and I think up. And he says it's too close to the plaza, but he's wrong. Or is he not going to let me put... Oh, he's not going to let me put it there. Fair enough. So lines up with the left edge of the plaza, and it's as far back as we can get it, so I'm good with this. That's the spot. So basically my strategy was that I wanted this entrance to the airport to line up with a path that will go here on the left side of the shop. And the other thing is the entrance to the shop will be right next to the airport. So when you get visitors, you may want to restrict their access to your island. So we may have like a barrier or something here. And then eventually we're going to get a clothing shop, which will go right over here. And there'll be this path here, be another path here, and we'll do a barricade or something to keep people from getting into our island if we don't want them to get into it. Okay. So we're done with our objectives for the day. The off-stream goals you have are to collect all your rocks, collect all your trees, and then you're going to start planting your fruit orchard. I want to show you, to find a good spot here, open area. So if that's a tree, what you want to do is you want to have 3 spaces. Well, that's a cricket. Get it, get it, get it. Got him. Excuse me. Okay, so 3 spaces, and that's the closest you would want the tree. And I also recommend you stagger. And the reason is when these trees get real dense, hard to see what's going on. So take that with a grain of salt, but my advice would be to try and have 3 spaces in between. Okay, so collect your wood, collect your rocks, plant every fruit you can, including the coconuts, which you should have got from Mystery Island. And my preference is to put those coconut trees here along the beach. I think it looks kind of nice, right along this little edge. And here again, tree, and you'll want 2 spaces between. Whoa! So you might have a tree there, and then 2 spaces, and then put another tree here. And the reason is when you chop the wood has a place to fall. This is a good place for us to start. This is where we're going to stop. So I want to thank everybody for coming out again. Let me drop that Discord link one more time. There's the Discord. Reminder, TexasTuberTim on Twitter and Instagram. We also have a webpage we're working on, which is TexasTuberTim.com. The Discord, which I just gave you a link for. And one more time, I would ask you to please consider giving us a subscribe, hitting the notification button, the little bell, so that you can stay tuned to what we're going on. And hopefully come back again soon, because we're fixing to have some opportunities for viewers to join us in the game and invite us to their island so we can showcase that on a future stream. I think that's it for today. I want to thank you all again for coming. Have a great day. Stay safe and be healthy. Take care.